To be hit like an animal in the street. I don't want nobody to love me that hard if you gotta take my life.
Also, new info on the death of a man whose girlfriend was accused of running him over in a bar parking lot. Court documents reveal that Gaylyn Morris told police she did not mean to run over Andre Smith. She actually told police she meant to hit the woman that he was with at Tilly's Pub and Grill. Those documents also reveal that Morris initially denied putting an AirTag in the car to track him. She then admitted to placing it in the back seat. She's now charged with vehicular homicide and goes on trial in September.
On Friday, June the 3rd, 2022, at approximately 12:32 a.m., IMPD officers were dispatched to 3948 East 82nd Street on an accident in the lot of Tilly's Pub. When officers arrived on the scene, they found Andre Smith under the front end of a dark blue 2010 Chevrolet Impala registered to Gaylyn Morris. Jordan Shapper, the IFD Engine Company 6, pronounced Andre Smith deceased at 12:56 a.m. Officers on the scene detained the driver of the Chevrolet Impala, later identified as Gaylyn Morris. Homicide was requested and, along with other detectives, responded. Gaylyn Morris was transported to the IMPD homicide office for an interview. He stated that he had just gotten off work, came to Tilly's. Morris, driving a blue Impala, pulled up, asked him if that was the only bar around here that was open. He told her it was not. He was not sure. Morris asked him if there was a guy with dreads inside Tilly's. Witness told her that he had not been inside yet. She told him that her boyfriend Andre Smith had a GPS tracker and it showed that he was there. She looked inside and saw a man and stated, "That's him." Witness then went inside the bar, watched Morris get into an altercation with another female, later identified as the female that Smith was with. Witness attempted to break it up. Witness said that a bartender made them all leave. Witness took 2 videos of the altercation inside of Tilly's and emailed them both to the detective. Detective Pearson took a statement from another witness. She was inside Tilly's and saw Morris, who was wearing a pink silk bonnet, black hoodie, gray bike shorts. Morris came up to the other witness table and said, "I'm going to beat her," pointing to the woman that Smith was with, who was wearing pink shorts. Witness stated that Morris picked up an empty beer bottle from a table. Witness said Morris stated she had an AirTag and GPS following Andre Smith and that he had been cheating on her. Witness stated that Morris went over to Smith and the woman that he was with and swung at the other woman with the beer bottle, but Smith blocked it. Grabbed Morris. Owner asked Morris, Smith, and the woman that Smith was with to leave. Witness said she looked out the window and saw Morris driving a car. She pulled forward, clipped Smith, and he went down under the car, at which time Morris backed over Smith, then pulled forward and hit him for a 3rd time. Witness said that Morris then got out of the vehicle and came after the other woman. The detective also took another witness statement and he indicated Morris pulled up from the west and asked him if he saw a guy with dreads, Andre Smith, in the bar. She told him that she had an AirTag on his car. The witness stated that he had not seen him because he didn't pay attention to people. Witness was in the bar with Smith Morris when they all got into a physical altercation. Witness said that Morris then came back outside, got in her car, and drove away. He then said that Smith went outside. Morris was in front of the Metro Diner, that is one business east of Tilly's, and she drove up on the sidewalk at Smith. After she backed up off the sidewalk, the witness stepped out in front of her car to try to protect Smith, and the witness stated so they could get to their car. Morris then tried to pull her car around the witness and hit him with the mirror of her car in the left hip. She sped around him, proceeded to run Smith over. When she hit him with the car, it dragged Smith to where he was when officers arrived. The witness stated that Smith's legs were still in the front of the passenger front tire with his body completely under the car, and his head had been completely run over by the driver's side tire and was behind it now. The witness went to assist the nurse that was attempting to help Smith. Morris was out of the vehicle when the police arrived and was promptly put in handcuffs and put on the curb. The witness was visibly upset, talking about Smith dying. The detective took a statement from another witness on June 3rd, 2022, and another statement from her on June 4th. She was at Tilly's for karaoke with 3 or 4 of her girlfriends when she noticed Smith, the other woman, walk into the bar. As they was walking into the bar, Morris came into the bar wearing a pink hat, walked by her table, grabbed an empty beer bottle by the neck of the bottle. The witness remembered commenting, "Oh snap, it's about to go down." The witness stated that the woman in the pink hat was focused as she approached Smith and the other woman. There was a confrontation, words, throwing arms, and name calling when Smith was in the middle of the two women. Woman bartender intervened and kicked Morris, the other woman, out. Then she said to everyone in the bar, "Sorry about that." Witness saw Smith and the other woman go to the bar and get a white pizza box with a plastic bag on top of that. The witness said a short time later there was a commotion and heard someone say she ran him over or something like that. The witness went to the door, saw the car in the parking lot with Smith underneath it, and she remembers that there was no one else around, nobody at the side of the car. The witness said she ran over there to assist the situation because she is a registered nurse. She went to the car and Smith was unresponsive. His eyes were open and he was breathing through his mouth. His head was wedged behind the driver's side front wheel and his face was facing out. The witness remembers someone saying that the passenger side front tire was on his ankle, and the witness tried to take a pulse, but his arms were underneath his abdomen. The witness noted that Smith's breathing was shallow and she was checking his pulse. It was weak and slow. While the witness was under the car, the driver's door opened. The driver exited the car, stepped over her, walked away. Smith then stopped breathing. The witness could not perform CPR because Smith's body was completely under the car between the front wheels and his head on the driver's side behind the front wheel and his feet were at the passenger side front wheel. The witness stated that the driver was the same female that came into the bar wearing the pink bunny, Gaylyn Morris. She saw her again after the police arrived. She was sitting on the curb in front of the restaurant with her hands behind her back to the police officer. During the statement on June 4, 2022, I showed the witness a photo. She selected number 3, circled, and signed it. Under the picture, Gaylyn Morris' picture was number 6. The witness was visibly upset while she was telling me what happened. This is what the detective is saying. He also took 2 other people's statements as well. Now, this is what the other woman that Andre Smith was with at night, this is what the other woman said. She said that her and Andre Smith were in Tilly's pub. He told her he thought there was a GPS on his car because Morris was texting him that she knew where he was at. The other woman said she had seen Morris earlier that evening and Morris was hitting her fist, her other hand, and looking at her. Also said she and Smith went to another bar first, but the kitchen was closed, so they came over to Tilly's and ordered food and drinks. She said that Smith told her that the girl knew his location. She stated that Morris came in, grabbed a bottle off the table, and was very aggressive, so she stood up. Smith stood between them, and Morris hit the other woman on the left shoulder with the bottle. She also stated that they were told they had to leave. She said they came out. Morris was right there in a blue Impala. She tried to hit Smith once, but then one of the workers stepped in front of the car and stopped her. She was standing by Smith's car when she turned around to see the car running over him. She also told the detective that she did not know the driver of the car's name, but it was the same female, Gaylyn Morris, that came into the bar wearing the pink bunny. She stated that just after Morris ran over Smith, he was still under the car. She pulled out her phone and video recorded the female still in the blue Chevrolet Impala. I watched the video. It is clear. This is what the detective's saying. I watched the video and it was It clearly showed Morris in the driver's seat of the blue 2010 Chevrolet Impala. She walks around the car with the video still going to show Indiana In God We Trust license plate registered to Gaylyn Morris. In the video, you can hear a woman say, "His head is under your wheel, don't move." She knocks on the passenger window and Gaylyn Morris looks directly in the camera. It's basically like a open, case closed. Read somewhere that Apple is being sued. I don't know how true that is. We're just going to say alleged for these Apple AirTags, because allegedly there has been other people who have lost their lives due to these Apple AirTags. These people are using these things to track people's cars. It's just all type of stuff is going on in this world today. So I'm gonna close out this video with words from his family, and I have to be honest with you all. After hearing his family speak, it literally brought tears to my eyes.
Family of Andre Smith, the man run over multiple times and killed in a bar parking lot, is sharing their story, and they're telling it to iTeam8's Richard Essex.
Smith was pronounced dead just before 1 o'clock Friday morning. His family had rushed to the scene on East 82nd Street. Many of them saw his lifeless body trapped under a car. It's a memory that will haunt them forever.
So be hit like an animal in the street. I don't want nobody to love me that hard if you gotta take my life.
The emotions are still very raw. Smith's aunts, Renika and Sandra Day, described the last minutes of their nephew's life.
A lot of my nephews, Renika's cousins, our nephews and cousins and sons, seen our loved one up underneath the car, crying for help. As he was trying to raise his head up, she ran over McGee.
Like a dog in the street. It's compelling and overwhelming.
Within minutes, Smith was pronounced dead by the Indianapolis Fire Department. His last moments are replayed in the collective memory of his family.
And it replays every time I blink right now. It replays every time we have to talk about it, or if I'm asleep at night. So I could only imagine how my sister is feeling right now. I could only imagine. It's one thing to, injure or wound a person, but to take a life.
While they are yelling for help me. A young man and a young lady inside of Tallies. Whoever you are, our hearts go out to you, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. They ran out of there and finally stopped her from continually to
going back and
over
forth.
Our family body.
According to IMPD, Smith and a female friend were inside Tilly's Bar and Grill around midnight on Thursday, June 2nd. That is when Gail Morris showed up and tried to start a fight. Police say Morris then attempted to hit Smith's female companion with an empty wine bottle. The three were then asked to leave. Smith went into the parking lot while his dinner date waited for her food to be prepared. Once he was outside and away from the building, IMPD says Morris hit him with a car 3 times. She told police that she'd been tracking Smith with an AirTag GPS monitoring device.
Those tracking devices should not be used for the public. They should not be available for the public. They should only be used for hospital and law.
They both believe that their nephew would still be alive had he been able to detect the monitoring device. The family has not been told where the device had been located. For those that are left behind, there will always be questions that no one can fully answer. Sandra Day, Smith's aunt, says that the family and the witnesses will need counseling.
We need to seek help, seek counseling. It's okay to seek counseling. Mm-hmm. It's okay to tell someone what's going on, so that way they can help us through the situation.
Smith leaves behind a 4-year-old daughter, numerous cousins, aunts, and uncles. In Indianapolis, Richard Essex, Wish TV, iTeam8.